guys, welcome back. This is Stacy D and the Yeti, and today we're going to talk about love and standards.
I know what you guys are thinking. Well, holy crap. Is this just a love channel? Well, a little bit. Because we talked about it. It's our love story, 17 plus years of marriage, right?
Yeah,
And we like to share little details of life, love, snippets. We like to do challenges to have some fun. Hopefully, you guys checked out our rock, paper, scissors, smash, our Dizzy pool, as well as our love story, our engagement story. So, something we said in a previous video was talking about when I told Stacy D that I loved her. 11701 was when I told her that I loved her. That was the only time I've told a girl that I loved her, because I knew that when I told a girl that I loved her, she was going to be the only one for me. I was going to marry that broad, and I was going to take it the distance, right? And that's exactly what's happened. 17 years, 3 kids, several dogs, several houses, several states. Now this is our life.
absolutely. And I got pretty inspired. We have some young family members who are going through the whole trying to find the right kind of boyfriend, trying to figure that out, sort out the love life. And they really inspired me as they were navigating through some situations that they want some pretty high standards and they're not settling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's the thing. We were
and it
talking
was really
about
cool.
real love and real standards. Real expectations are able to be set.
Yes, they really are. And you don't have to lower your expectations just so you can have a boyfriend in the moment, or you're tired of waiting on the right kind of woman or man or whatever to come around in your life so that you can find somebody to marry because you just want to jump on to the next phase of life.
So we are from a different train of thought, right? So we are not part of the Tinder age. We're not part of this random go out and have sex with whoever you want to
Right.
age. That's not how we view it. We view that, I mean, God has made sex for marriage, not even
Yeah.
for love, for marriage, for procreation, and doggone it, recreation, but
Word up.
within a marriage. That's how we see it. And so we're not part of the fly by night, click, swipe right. We're not into all that stuff. And what that's doing is what we feel that that's doing is lowering the bar of expectations. How can a woman want to set a bar for a man to meet and then just be giving it all away?
Right.
How can a man set a bar for a woman to meet and then giving it all away? Like, we definitely view like our sexuality as humans as something that's unique, in the sense of not only are we eating, sleeping, and breathing, but we're sentient about it. We
Yes.
know what's happening, and we know the emotional, ramifications of what we're doing. So if we are to fall in love, a lasting love, a long, deep, lasting love, that comes by setting the bar here, right? Because when you set the bar just above the ground, you're gonna get you're gonna
Just
get
above the ground
wetted.
material.
Yeah, you're gonna get just above the ground material. You're gonna get any Joe Schmo that trips over the bar. You're
I
gonna
love
get
that. I love that
yeah,
so much.
you're gonna get any woman who just stumbles over the bar, because that's showing that you don't respect yourself enough to wait and set the bar for someone who might be your perfect someone.
Exactly. And the family member that I was talking to, I believe it was her that she said that she had heard someone tell her that, the perfect person could come at any age, and it was much better to wait until a lot later to get the perfect spouse than to have just a mediocre relationship with someone.
Yeah, it's maybe it's better to wait to find someone that you're going to be madly in love with versus somebody you're just kind of lukewarm over, but they're fitting the bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
like, oh, they'll do.
they're filling the role of husband or wife. They're filling the role of
Yeah.
mom or dad. But we see that it's a product of this world. So the idea of love, the idea of being a mature married couple, and that's something that we wanted to bring in the modern age, in the age of, we say it all the time, 2020, YouTube, cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
everything that we do. Why not be different? That's what we are saying. We are different. We are doing something different. We're believing different. We're seeing it different. We're acting different. So if you want change, you have to be the change that you want. So if we say that with the change we want is for our young people. Oh my gosh, I'm not that old, and I'm saying our young people,
But no, like a legitimate, like,
but we want our young people to be happy. And I think
yeah.
that people don't understand that. It's like, you know, it's not about your job, it's not about your education, it's not about your social medias, but what actually makes you happy at the end of the day. And some people, when they get yoked up with that perfect someone, they can feel that happiness, that is the kind of happiness that you don't have to share with the world. It's your private happiness.
It
And
is. It's the kind of happiness you don't have to share with the world. I love that. I recently told our kids. I said, when you find that person that you want to be with the rest of their life, being around them makes breathing easier, and you never even realized it was hard to breathe before.
yeah, man. And so we're also a fan of courting. I don't know how we're not that strict yet. I mean, our kids aren't really courting or dating or anything like that. But
No, not yet.
but the idea that you can get to know someone, absolutely get to know them. You're talking to them on the phone, not texting, but talking to them on the phone, hanging out with them, spending time, looking into their eyes. Getting to know someone for who they actually are beyond the small percentage that they put on their social media is it's almost revolutionary, right? So our young people today, they don't know what boredom is. They don't know how to be bored, right? Because they're constantly stimulated with their phones and social media, so they don't know what it's like to take time to wait for something. You know what I mean? To be bored. I'm
Right.
not saying that love comes from boredom. I'm saying that when you have that opportunity to just be with someone, you get to see how they act. You get to see how they're thinking. You get to see
Right.
how they're feeling. You get to see how they respond, and then give it time. I always heard that you want to know someone all 4 seasons before you really commit to them, because people change in the physical seasons. And that's almost even a metaphor for the seasons of life, because people change, and then you get married and you're with them for a long time, and they're almost like different people.
Right. Yeah. No, because the people ebb and flow and they change. Say people never change is not true. People change all the time. Just maybe not in accordance with what you would want.
That's true.
That's different. But I think maybe instead of bored, maybe the word would be being still with that person.
Being still with that person. So,
What are they like when they're not on their phone, when they're not constantly distracted? What are you like when you're not on your phone and constantly distracted? Do you mesh? Do you ebb? Do you like, you right?
yeah, man.
It's just so important.
We talk about it all the time. Just as funny as I use the word young people, but our young people today. But
The
just as
youth.
the youth, but just as I use that kind of phrase, I would also say that if we are recognizing the fact that we are getting older and we have these views, I can look back and say that teenage me was an idiot, and I'd have done a lot. I'd have done a lot of things differently. But I
Yeah.
also know that things worked out. Right, I made it through. But it's those little nuggets of wisdom that come from people that are older that help to sew in and help shape the landscape.
Yeah.
We
So
can't
true.
we can't just let idiot teenagers, I don't care who argues that, idiots, teenage idiots, right? We can't just let them just create, right? Just whatever they want. It's from the wisdom of the older generations that they even know what colors to paint, or how to paint the colors, or even that there's colors that are options, right? That's the thing, is like they're just working with what they know. So it's for us to show them, and if we think that we might know a better way, or we think that we might be able to guide in a better way,
Right.
hey, you guys want to get married and be married for a long time, but then you look at people that are married for a long time.
You say how to do that.
It's the
You know?
same. Yeah, it's the same thing that happens. If you want to be debt free, why don't you take the example from someone who's debt free and do what they do? Don't take financial advice from people that are clearly not financially free. It's that
Right.
same sort of thing. So when it comes to love, it's like, be the example. And my advice, what I'm going to wrap up with, is love is real. Love wins, bro. Every friggin' time, love wins.
Yeah.
What's your advice?
My advice is to, oh, what would be my advice?
I don't know.
We've said
You
so
you
much.
you went all red.
I did. You distracted me with your kisses.
Doggone right I did. That's a tool.
Wow, because you wanted to one up me. Was that it?
Well,
Was that it?
my name does come second here. So
Yeah, I would definitely say that look look and find, like you were just saying, look and find an example of what you think love would should look like, and then follow that.
yep.
You know, learn and gain wisdom because just like anything else, it takes some real skill to be in a relationship for the rest of your life. It's not and
Patience.
it's not easy. It's not easy, and it doesn't necessarily come naturally. So,
Yep.
yeah.
When the lust fades away.
What?
What? When more than just the physical aspect of your relationship comes into play, how do you respond? How do you respond to the thick and the thin, the positive and the negative?
Right, because you need both to have balance within your
Oh man,
relationship.
so
So, shoot, we could go on another thing
well
about
that's
balance in a
that's enough for
relationship.
me, guys.
Is that it? Are
That's
you
it.
out?
I'm
You're
out.
tapping.
That's it. I'm covered up in love. So
Are you
yeah, I hope you guys had a good time here today.
with me?
We're done.
You love me?
Always. Okay, live hard, love even harder, guys.
Yeah, tat splat.
That's